This video is a guide to cutting seams in your flooring. The techniques are very similar if you're fitting rubber. If you're laying more than one piece, there's no need to weld this flooring. For the best results, we recommend the double cut seam technique demonstrated here.
When you're doing your wall cuts, you obviously use a hook blade. On your joins, you have to use a concave blade. Now, I've discovered trying to use straight blades or concave blades, the problem with straight blades, it cuts it too tight and it ends up doing this to the actual joint, making it peak. So you have to use a concave blade. It's a lot nicer and a lot cleaner cut. So when it comes to doing your joint, you've overlapped it by between 1 inch to 2 inches overlap. Now, the vinyl underneath is obviously underneath, and you can feel that with your thumb here. So this is where the actual vinyl underneath is laying. Now, I position the straight edge so I can feel the vinyl still underneath. Now, I'm just laying the straight edge roughly in line all the way down the joint, so it's roughly about the same distance from my thumb to the straight edge for the length. Just all the way up, so you can still see that I've still got the same gap there, and I've still got roughly the same gap here. Once you've got that up the whole thing, you apply pressure to the straight edge using your concave blade. You position it. Now, I score it to begin with, just running it gently along the straight edge, and just do that several times. Just keep going, and then eventually you actually reach the floor. When you hear that sound, if you've got a latex floor, you should hear a nice scraping noise, which means that you've hit the bottom of the actual floor itself. If you don't hear that noise, you've got to keep on doing it until you've scraped through. So I'm still cutting, and there's that scrape. Now, once you've come to the end of your straight edge, obviously you need to move your straight edge. I try and leave the knife in here just so I can slide the actual straight edge down, just gently lifting the knife up, and then just trying to line it back up, leave a slight little overhang of the actual straight edge, line it back up, and then just do your thumb trick again. Make sure that you've got the same distance throughout. If there's any discrepancies, then just move it over slightly so it keeps it at the same distance apart. So again, to the eye, I feel like I'm in line. Now again, just gently scoring, keep on scoring, and now I should get the scrape. Every so often when you've got a long bit, I just tend to cut that off, just to make it easier for myself so I can see what I'm doing. And then repositioning my straight edge. Now, I've got to stress, you must be on this side of the joint so you can feel the vinyl underneath. If you cut it on this side, like that way, it normally leaves the joint slightly gappy. So you can't feel the vinyl either, so you've got the danger that you might actually cut off the vinyl, so you're not cutting both pieces. So just make sure you're on this side and you can feel the vinyl is here. Once you've cut through the whole joint, so now this is the last bit, obviously lift up this side, you lift this up, and then you pull out the piece that you've cut, like so. You literally just pull that all the way up. Now, if you've cut it all the way through, it'll come up easily. If it gets stuck, it means that you haven't cut it all the way through, and you need to be very careful how you do that. You're going to have to get back down on your hands and knees and just pull it back ever so gently, and then just cut it very gently. Once you've got all of this up, dispose of that, then you can either use a roller, which I prefer to do, or just your thumb. Now, I'll show you the thumb because not everyone's going to have a roller. Firstly, I always start in the middle. Basically, all I'm doing is just pushing it slightly over in that angle just to give it a bit of, to put it back in. Now, if you get a stubborn bit like this, what I tend to do is just use my knife just to push it down and then give it a little tap and then just clean up the edge. Once you've got it in position, I always run my hand just along the back edge, just to make sure that that's in the glue, so you haven't got a little sort of bubble where it kicks up against the other vinyl. So just give it a little push, just to make sure it's completely flat and it's still in the glue. And then where you started, just go the opposite way with the other thumb. So a lot of people worry about the joints. If you do it this way, you shouldn't have any issues. It should be a nice tight joint. Once you've laid your floor and the seam's done, you're complete. But you can walk on it straight away, but we recommend that you leave any furniture or any heavy goods out for at least 24 hours.